Jeff, you'll have to explain this to me. I don't understand what's going on.
Toy cars.
But are they toy-sized
I don't
cars?
think so. I don't think so.
So they're just like...
I think they're just toy,
like
super deformed versions of your favorite Burnout rides. In stores now, rated T for teen. E10 plus for E10 plusers.
But not available now.
But not available now.
There are
2009.
super deformed versions of real cars in this game.
But not real cars.
There are testicles and car humping.
The cars now have balls.
They got truck nuts. Can you put hanging from the stupid trailer hitch?
Have you guys seen these pictures floating around on the internet of dinosaurs getting it on with automobiles?
So,
you said humping cars. I had to bring it up.
Had to? Really?
Yeah, I'll show you after this.
There was no other way for you to get that out?
There's like some crazy
You couldn't
artist.
afterwards say, hey,
There's some
here's
crazy
something that's
dude.
appropriate for not being on the
Crazy
podcast.
dude has been churning these things out, and they keep popping up on forums.
I'm afraid I have not been up to date with this
show
meme.
you, dude. I'm going to school your ass when we get done.
Could
with
you
this.
act it out instead? We have a car parked out front.
Tell me more about the dinosaurs. Brad is getting up and taking off his pants.
But he's doing it near the microphone, which is really creepy.
Yeah, like he was pointing his crotch towards
the
it.
idea, so you could hear the jangle of the belt.
Someone else has to talk for a while. Oh, yeah!
The sound of the zipper.
Can you put like a giant penny in the back of your...
Yeah, they'll do fat wheelies if they do that.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. Like, they're on a tear. Top of the show. Let's get out of the way. Fuck you, Uno. Here's how to play it.
Is the greatest version of Uno ever.
And even the Xbox version can't do this.
Is there a comma in there? Is it just
No,
like,
it's just fuck you, Uno.
No,
exclamation point?
Sure,
Nothing?
yeah, it could
Okay.
be if you want it to be.
All right. Well, that's the game I want.
Okay, so for starters, this is Uno for money.
Yes.
Okay.
And the money must be kept in your sock. Rule number 1, all money must be kept in your sock. If you're not wearing socks, you have to go put on socks.
Okay.
Rule number 2, the zeros do bad things. So anytime you play a 0, it is basically a wild draw 8. And as you play it, you have to say, fuck you, to the other player.
In different tones, or was that the specific tone that I
That
had
is
to
the
use?
specific tone.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I think
Fuck
that
you.
So the other player can counter this. This is ideally a 2-player variant of Uno. You can play it with more, but I think it works best one-on-one.
I don't know. It gets pretty brutal if you get like 4 in a row.
It does get pretty savage. So the next player, to counter that, they either have to draw 8 or play 2 other zeros.
Okay.
At which point it becomes a 16 back to them, and then that is a no fuck you. And then the final counter, and I have seen this happen, and it is epic, is the last player has to have the green 0. And they lay that down last and say, no, fuck you. And they automatically win. If you can manage that exact...
But where's the money in the sock come into play?
If you win, you get all the money out of everyone's socks.
So it's just winner take all one game.
Yep.
I like that. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Are you allowed to put just like a certain amount, or do you have to take like all the money out of your wallet and put it in a sock?
I think we've basically played for like $5 buy-ins per person, 20 something like that. That's the BI in Uno lingo, also poker lingo. I'm told, but I don't play poker. I play Uno.
That's right. It's man's game.
Yes.
It's a man's game.
Man-child, 15-year-old man-child game.
So it's played around my place all the time. Actually, I have not played in a while, but with Christmas coming up, there will certainly be people around that want to get it on and also play Uno, which is good. So, I've been playing Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, which we've talked about at great length on this show before. All right, next question. This one's good for Dave being on the show. Paul in Davis, California says, so, how exactly did you guys come up with the name Giant Bomb?
Okay. So we're telling the story now?
Sure, yeah.
All right. So the way that it was Jeff was in, and like before we were even starting a site, we're all just kind of sitting around upstairs, and for some reason, well, obviously you were there because,
Yeah, I had
it's
nothing
your
else going
site.
on.
Yeah. And I was just kind of there because I'm a very paranoid product manager. So like the worst thing to me that you could possibly have, the worst nightmare than zombies hate your neighbors all night is to have to know that you're launching a website that does not have a name yet. So I think I kind of, Jeff and I were sitting there and I was just like making Jeff pick a name. I'm like, gotta pick a name, man. Gotta pick
Yeah,
one
it
today.
harsh.
Yeah.
It was like, God, we got to figure out a name, and all these names are crap. All these names are terrible.
It was a good 5, probably like 4 hour, I'd say, like of us just sitting in front of a GoDaddy like search screen.
Yeah, just like, is this taken? Is this taken? Is this taken? And yeah, there were definitely a few other contenders.
Oh yeah, and there were lots of names that like were pretty decent, just like good, easy to spell names, but that you absolutely hated.
Yep.
And I could see it in your face.
Yep. For sure. I remember just like having phone calls, was like just talking about this name, and like, we can't.
Yeah.
No, we can't.
Yeah.
This name, no.
Yeah.
This name, no. Never. Yeah.
All your emails next week are just going to be, what is that name? What was that name?
Can you remember?
What was it?
Well, we had.
I mean, can we talk about
Yeah, why not? We Game Monk was one of the
Game
ones
Monk?
that we had.
Yeah, that was one for a little while, and that Game Monk is a character, not a website.
Yeah, right. Which was just some dude like throwing gas on himself.
Yeah, that's gonna
because
be
the game was so bad.
Yeah. So look forward to Game Monk game reviews sometime in 2009.
Yeah, we'll definitely break that one out.
VideoGameMountain.com.
Video Game
Jesus.
Mountain, which of course I gave the kibosh to because I was like, dude, nobody is going to spell Video Game Mountain.
I was like, Video Game MT, something.
No.
Yeah, so look forward to Tales from Video Game Mountain sometime in 2009.
That one will probably come up. We've got definitely the scenic room for it here in Saucy Sausalito.
That's right, we do.
There.
Get some hillbilly costumes and some wizard outfits. And tell the tale of Video Game Mountain. Thwomp.
Oh, that's right. We were looking at potentially
I
that
remember
one. We
you
didn't
told
know.
me about Thwomp.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which was bad because it's a Nintendo thing specifically.
Right. Yeah.
But as usual, I liked anything that was easy to spell. Which I guess it kind of is.
It kind of is.
Or it was kind of recognizable.
Yeah, which was, I think, my big problem
Right.
with it, is that it was kind of recognizable.
Could have renamed it Twomp.
There was what was your
Yes, Twomp.
what was your zero squad or
Oh,
something like you had one that was just snake
SnakeSnake.com.
snake.
That was a result. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was, yes.
Yeah, so
A
Jeff,
late night led to Snake.
Jeff and I definitely had back and forth where it was like me trying to be practical and him trying to be funny. And so like I think we ended up with a half medium, and we just randomly we were looking at stuff around bombs because we were trying to think up something
Well, there was,
generic.
yeah,
that
like there was a
video
while
games.
there that we were kind of like, well, it should say game in the title.
Yeah.
And then I was like, it shouldn't say game in the title. And
Yeah.
then people were like, it should say game in the title. I'm like, but dude,
Yeah,
it shouldn't say game in the title.
Right.
And then once we settled on not having it be called Game Vine or whatever,
but I
we
think
started thinking about stuff that was outside of games.
I
and
think
that's-
Thwomp at least led us in a good direction because that's where we were like, oh, well, that's something in a game that we can use as a reference. And then
Right.
we just started like trying to think up. It was stupid. I mean, like we were just sitting there like mushrooms are in games. Like it was.
Yeah, it
horrible.
was just like, let's generate a list of things that are in games.
Right.
And then I think from there it was like, well, there are a lot of explosions in games.
Yeah. And then we just got really lucky.
Is that how your
Yeah.
technology for having a list of stuff that's in games sort of came to fruition?
Yes, that's also how the site was.
Yeah, it was actually called Hamburglar.
Yeah.
Robble.
Hamburgercheeseburger.com.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, and then you came up with Giant Bomb, and
Right.
it was not taken.
Yeah, and then like I got that look where it was like, that might work. And then it was like quickly
Register this.
Get it.
Yeah.
I still can't believe it was available.
Yeah, it totally seems like
Doesn't
the type
make
of
any
URL
sense.
that would be taken, especially considering how many like way worse ideas we had that were taken.
Oh yeah.
There's some just
Like Snake,
like
I
Snake
think was
Snake is taken,
but
so
Snake,
we had to be
Snake,
Snake,
Right.
or perhaps even Snake.
Right.
No, that would be overkill.
Yeah.
And we actually ended up registering a ton of domains like that.
Yeah.
Also,
There's a bunch of useless domains that will likely get used for one-offs. I would hope. At least that's my goal.
Yeah.
I'd like to visit Video Game Mountain myself.
yeah, definitely.
Take a trip to Video
I
Game
would like to
Mountain.
see what the Game Monk has to say.
Yeah, maybe Game Monk makes his way up. Maybe he lives at the top of Video Game Mountain.
And what about our undergarment site, giantthong.com?
Yeah, well, we now
The
have a
giantest.
merchandising store, so you never know.
So there you go. Let's
Yeah.
look for the giant thong in the near future. So, Paul, that answers your question. Yeah.